The world of Super Mario is bright and friendly, with all the hallmarks of a classic fairy tale: a plucky hero, a beautiful princess, and a fire-breathing dragon. It's full of characters like a happy-go-lucky dinosaur, a childlike mushroom man, and whatever the heck Waluigi is. No wonder kids love it. But it's also unfathomably weird, with strange moments and subtext that flies over children's heads. Looking too deep as an adult might change your view on Mario and his pals, and not always for the better. Here's why. Mario's drug use. Let's get the easy one out of the way first. We're obviously not the first ones to make this observation, but Mario's world is chock full of drug imagery, and nobody seems more willing to indulge in a little bit of self-medication than Mario himself. It's not just the powerful leaves and reality-altering mushrooms either. In Super Mario Bros. 2, Mario and his friends employ potions that open doorways to other dimensions, which only exist until the potion's high runs out. And in Yoshi's Island, Yoshi journeys to a stage called Touch Fuzzy, Get Dizzy, that might as well have been called Touch Fuzzy, Get High. King Koopa loves music. You might not have noticed unless you were surprisingly well-versed in heavy metal, punk rock, and classical music as a 9-year-old, but the Koopa Kids sport an array of very familiar names that make it seem like Bowser is really into his record collection. As the story goes, Dave Brooks worked his way through the ranks at Nintendo to become a product analyst on Super Mario Bros. 3. One of his main responsibilities involved smoothing out the transition from Japanese, including the Koopalings' names, and he turned to popular performers for inspiration. Ludwig von Koopa got his name because his hair resembled Ludwig von Beethoven's. Roy's sunglasses reminded Dave of rocker Roy Orbison. Iggy Koopa took his name from Iggy Pop, the godfather of punk, while Wendy O. Koopa is named after raunchy and wild punk rocker Wendy O. Williams. Lemmy is, of course, named after Motorhead's frontman. They're not all musicians. Morton Koopa Jr. is named after Morton Downey Jr., the notorious chain-smoking, foul-mouthed 80s talk show host. And Larry, well, according to Brooks, he's not named after anyone. He just looked like a Larry. Can't argue with that. The Mushroom Kingdom's imperialism. There's nothing in Mario lore to explain how the human Princess Peach came to rule over the Toads, and it'll probably stay that way. Until Mario Odyssey, there weren't a lot of humans in Mario games. Since Peach was the only human who called the Mushroom Kingdom home, and Toads are clearly a different species, we can assume Peach isn't a native. The beginning of the Toadstool dynasty either involves a human barging in and conquering the Toads, or an elected leader deciding to abolish democracy in favor of a monarchy.
Very uncool, dudes!
It gets worse too, because while humans aren't Mushroom Kingdom natives, Goombas, Koopas, and other enemies clearly are. So we've got a princess who rules over a clearly unhappy race of mushrooms and wages war against the country's other indigenous people. No wonder Nintendo isn't interested in giving us that backstory. No matter what the truth is, it's not going to look too good for the beloved princess. Even weirder, Mario Odyssey introduced the Metro Kingdom's new Donk City, which is not only a separate political state, but also appears to be populated entirely by humans, including Pauline, Mario's original girlfriend in peril from Donkey Kong. Maybe the Metro Kingdom's humans conquered the Mushroom Kingdom and installed their own monarchy, but what's really bizarre is that the new Donkers look like much more realistic humans than Mario and Peach, raising the question of just what our heroes actually are. The missing mom. King Koopa has 8 children, the 7 Koopalings who debuted as bosses in Super Mario Bros. 3, and Bowser Jr., who appeared in Super Mario Sunshine. And yet there's never been a Queen Koopa. The only woman Bowser seems to have eyes for is Princess Peach. So where exactly did all these kids come from? In 2012, Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto addressed the mystery by retconning the Koopalings' heritage and officially removing them from Bowser's family tree. But that still leaves Junior. He claims in Sunshine that Peach is his mother, but that's revealed to be a lie, and even Miyamoto doesn't have an answer. When it comes to Bowser Jr.'s ancestry, Miyamoto simply says, "We do not know who the mother is. Most likely, we never will." Yoshi's complicated biology. The fact that Yoshi lays eggs despite being regarded as a male is interesting, but easily explained if you assume that the residents of the Mushroom Kingdom recognize that gender is a social construct. Really though, it's just the beginning of the questions about the reproductive system of T. Yoshisaur Munchakoopas. Yoshi seems to care so little about his unborn offspring that he's happy to chuck his eggs at enemies before they get a chance to hatch. And sometimes, when Yoshi lays an egg, there's not even a baby Yoshi inside. Collect enough berries and Yoshi's next egg will contain a mushroom? That's weird, but not as strange as the fact that Yoshi emerges from the shell-wearing boots. When the baby Yoshi grows into an adult, usually because Mario force-feeds him bad guys, he sprouts a saddle, which just happens to be the perfect size for adventuring plumbers. It's almost like Yoshi was born and bred for the sole purpose of carrying Mario from place to place, but that's crazy, right? The Mushroom Kingdom's gender fluidity. Yoshi's not the only character whose gender identity is surprisingly progressive. Mario games are full of characters who don't adhere to a strict male-female binary. Birdo, the bow-wearing, egg-shooting villain of Super Mario Bros. 2, is widely regarded as the first transgender video game character, thanks to an interesting but unfortunately phrased line in the instruction manual stating that Birdo thinks he is a girl. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. In 2014, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker producer Koichi Hayashida confirmed that toads aren't male or female, and if they're wearing gender-specific clothing, that's simply because they dress how they want to dress. Vivian, one of Mario's teammates in Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, is canonically transgender, at least in the original Japanese edition. Even Mario's main characters have done a little experimenting. In Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, an evil witch named Cackletta possesses Bowser, transforming him into Bowletta. In order to beat Cackletta and restore Bowser to normal, Luigi dresses like Princess Peach, something he actually does a lot.
We're Luigi and Marianne with the cousins. Yes!
Boo-hoo? For the most part, the Super Mario series keeps things light, except for the part where all those ghosts that populate the Mushroom Kingdom's haunted houses are actually straight-up dead people. Paper Mario's resident tour guide, Goombario, says that a ghost character named Igor probably was a merchant before he became a Boo, confirming that Boos had previous lives among the living. Meanwhile, we know what happens to other Super Mario creatures when they die. Koopas turn into dry bones, Buzzy Beetles turn into bony beetles, Shy Guys become Boo Guys, while Goombas return as undead Toriko-Rebos in Super Mario Land 2. Toads haunt the living as ghosts, but as seen in the Paper Mario games, those ghosts still resemble toads. That accounts for most of the common creatures that roam Mario's world. Besides humans, what else could the Boos possibly be? Thanks for watching. Click the SVG icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.